Deborah Howard, Mystery of Memory, Telling My Truth, Standing My Ground. I've been a member of NTL since 2004. I think NTL brings a real expertise in use of self. I think a lot of organizations focus on tools and techniques, and one of the things that NTL really excels at is having people really use themselves as instruments of change. The book is really the story of my personal struggle to have my parents validate my experience of incest as a child. The motivation for writing the book was, strangely enough, to explore my own self-doubt. So my experience, similar to many other incest survivors, is one of having very wispy memories. And so over the years, once I had reconciled with my parents and forgiven them, the doubt actually increased. Because surprisingly enough, I would say to myself, you know, I love my parents, I know my parents love me, so my father couldn't possibly have done that. Therefore, I must be crazy. Okay. Or I would say, yes, I believe myself, I know that happened, but then he couldn't possibly love me. And so the book was really my delving into and exploring and moving through my own self-doubt, and I didn't know until I finished the book if I would. The way that I see my story paralleling other stories is I think that anyone who has experienced trauma of any kind, and trauma could be, you know, individual family trauma such as mine, it could be systemic and cultural trauma in terms of being a marginalized group in society. It's very difficult not to develop self-doubt because if the society at large is not giving you belief, then it's very difficult not to doubt yourself. When people see that someone else has self-doubt, it's a way of looking at I can believe myself. I can believe my truth, and the only way to believe it is to go inside instead of look outside. I want people to walk away with the idea that truth comes from the inside out, and we have to find a way to find our truth within, believe it, and stand by it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of truths that society makes it even harder to believe. So for example, you know, we look at what happened in terms of all of the women who accused Bill Cosby. It is so difficult for people to say, you know, how could Cliff Huxtable have done these things? And I can't tell you how many things I saw on the internet really disparaging these women. And so why is it that we are more likely to believe one man than 50 women? Why is it that it is so difficult for whites in America to believe that police officers indiscriminately kill black men? And so it's the idea that if we haven't had the experience, we're not going to believe you. And so it really wasn't until a lot of these shootings became on the news and on the news and on the news that people began to believe that. And it is crazy making. It can be very crazy making when you know what your truth is and it's not being believed. It gives people someone to resonate with in terms of self-doubt and understanding that society creates doubt inside of us based on you know, groups that are less powerful in society, be it girls, women, people of color, you know, the LGBT community. So anything like that, it is important that we maintain our own truth.
conversation